the card we're going to be making today. It's a Thanksgiving card, and it's almost that time of year for us Canadians. Not even, what, 3 weeks maybe? 3 weeks this weekend? I can't remember. This month has gone so quickly already. But I should show you what I used. Get ahead of myself. I used the Rustic Crate. This is a carryover from last year. This here, that's the only thing I used in that. I used the Fern 3D embossing folder, which is a gorgeous embossing folder. It has the ferns in the background. I hope you can see that. It just suits well with this project. And this is the Deckled Circle Dies, and I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 6th and 7th. It's about right in the center. But the 6th and 7th smallest. And then I used this beautiful paper. Hopefully there it is. Trying to keep it separate so I can quickly pull it out and show you how beautiful it is. It's a scene on one side and plain on the back, like just one single color, I think. Aren't they pretty? I've used this one on the card I'm going to be making now. This is the card I used, or the piece of paper, designer series paper. Isn't that pretty? I love the colors in the sky. So beautiful. And the beautiful flowers there. And the purple. Highland heather. That's a gorgeous scene. There's another one. And that's a beautiful green. I like that. And the blue. This is my favorite. I love this. Absolutely love this. And I think this is yes, I used this one on this card. So I cut the top off, and I cut it down to 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. So it's the whole length of the, this is Cajun Craze. So Cajun Craze is 5 1/4 long, so it covers the whole thing, so it's 5 1/4. And the early espresso is 2 inches, and this is cut down to 1 3/4 inches. Oh, I didn't show you the rest. Isn't that pretty? Like a stormy sky. And that looks kind of like wheat, maybe? I don't know. But I love this one. I love that color. So we will get this out of here so that I can get working on stuff, and I put it back in here so that I can get going. Now I use linen thread, 8 inches and 18 inches. There's 8-inch bow and 18 inches to go around the cardstock, and then this is neutral adhesive back sequins, and I use the copper ones because they go so well with the Cajun Craze. So hopefully, oh, and the Happy Thanksgiving, I just went, well, my husband did, went on the computer and typed out Happy Thanksgiving, and then we got it to the size we wanted it that fit on the card, and then I just printed it off, and then I just went around it and cut it all out, the Thanksgiving separate from the Happy, so there's 2, and then I can put, this is too far away, so it needs to come closer, so I just went around every little in and up and down and in and out for the Happy Thanksgiving. So we will get started. And we will glue things down. And let me see. This is the long one. Is it or isn't it? I lose everything, so I try to keep the little things in a container. I am so good at losing things. There's that Fern embossing folder. Isn't it pretty with the Cajun Craze? Now this is going on early espresso. There's only an 1/8 of an inch difference. It's 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 for the early espresso, and 5 1/4 by 4 for the Cajun Craze. And then we're gonna put this on, and I've left I cut off the the leaves on the tree that have already turned, just to give it a more a lighter look. Like with the color, it just picks it up a bit, because this tree is fairly dark, so it just, I thought just leave it attached. Take the extra off the top, the 3/4 of an inch off the top, and leave what's on the bottom for color contrast. Now this is going to the top. I'm trying to get it so that it's in the center. Now that's looks like it might be a little bit longer, so I'm just going to take my scissors and cut. It's just a fraction of an inch. Just hardly worth cutting off, but it would bother me. So I am going to take this, and I start at the back. Like I said, this is 18 inches long. And it's going to go in the back. And I want to pull it fairly tight. And I'm going to, there it is, use my Seal Plus, and I don't want it, I want it mostly more towards the center, with not a lot of room in between. But I want these to be able to be moved. Whoops. There. I'm going to pull that just a little bit tighter. There. And make sure this is now. You can fiddle with how far you want it apart or where you want it. You want it basically in the center so that it lines up, like visually pleasing. And then I am going to take my black dimensionals. Oh, brain fart. Black dimensionals, and I am putting those down along the outside edge. I am very frugal and I like to not use as many dimensionals, so I always cut them in half. You can do full if you would like, you go right ahead, that's totally up to you, but I like to do half, and then I can put more dimensionals on and still save myself with the dimensionals. And this is going right in here. So I like to always push them down so that they're on there. And then I get my picky tool. You can use your take your pick tool if you would like. This, I had this out, so I'm just using this one. Oh, well, that's not good. There. There we go. Somehow the backing didn't come off on the back. It's like, ooh, why? That doesn't make sense. Up here, and then, and you can pick and choose what, how far apart you want it from the edge. I want it fairly close to the edge. I don't want a lot of space in here because I have to put this on, and this is going to go about halfway through this on here. So we'll get going with this part and stamping it. I am using my early espresso. I'm just going to flip this around here. I can see what I'm doing then, where it's going. There. I should have my piercing mat. That would have been better, but oh well, this one was close, very handy, so that's why I used it. So we're starting out with, and hang these up to get them out of the way. Pumpkin Pie Dark, and I'm using the bullet end on all of this because it's fairly small. So I am outlining the whole thing. With the dark, and then I'm going to come in with the light, and I'm going to fill it in. I'm choosing to use the bullet end because I have to go around all these petals of the sunflower, and it's just easier to do it with a small tip than the brush. And I'll flip it because I've got these to do again, to go around. There. That is light and dark pumpkin pie. Now I'm going to use dark Daffodil Delight. And I am going to do the veins only on these flowers because they're so small. I tried to do the outline of the petals, and it overwhelmed the look, so I don't want to do that. And it takes less time. Just doing the bottom ones too. And now we're getting the light Daffodil Delight. This is not as hard to do because it's going over top of Pumpkin Pie, which it won't show if I go over top of it. But for here, I need to be a little bit more careful. I don't want to color in the leaves with yellow. Although I could make that work. There are some leaves that are yellow or have yellow on them, but this is fall and they're mostly turning colors. There we go. Now I'm going to take Pecan Pie Dark and I'm filling in the center for the sunflower. It's fairly dark and you can still see the circles of the seeds in it, so that's all I care about. Now this is Old Olive Dark, and again I'm just doing the veining because otherwise it just overtakes the look and I don't want that. This is Old Olive Light, and I'm going around. It really doesn't take long. I've already done the center, the insert in the center, so it's not going to take long. Now this is Lemon Lolly Dark, and I'm not doing any shading at all. And I'm taking Granny Apple Green Light, and I'm doing the husk. I wanted the husk to be able to stand out, so they're getting a lighter color because in the fall they turn brownish, but I wanted them to be fresh still. Okay, so now we got that, and that's my Thanksgiving. And that's my happy. So I'm getting my tweezers and my little glue. And now I have to be very careful how I place this down here because I want it straight. There we go. Now just happy next. And I'm going to fit it around. And if it goes on top of your pumpkins or sunflowers, that's okay. That's not a big deal. But mine is fitting basically in between, and is not really going over very much, just a little bit there with the H. And then this fits on top of this. I like the Deckled Dies because there's so many of them. They give you that framed look when you do it, so it's like a picture frame. Gonna put this aside now that I'm done with that, and I'm bringing this in, and it's going to go like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over, and now I know where to put my dimensionals. Now I'm just going to cut these down the center. And I am going to put one there. One here. And one there. Straighten that out so it's not crooked. It just makes it easier for placement if these are in line. And then I'm taking my glue and I'm just doing basically a D on here. Now I need to take those off. There we go. Now we're going to set it in the center, and I'm just making sure that my dimensionals are over here and that this is there. Down. Now I'm just gonna, yes, certainly I am. I am going, this is 8 inches, so I'm just going to do a bow. You could do bunny ears, whatever you want to do. Now I'm taking my glue dot, there it is, and my pokey tool, and I'm just going to roll that up. And it's going to go right here, and then the bow is going to go right on top of it. If your glue dot, I can feel it. So I am going to take my embossing buddy, and I'm going to go like that all over so that any glue will be covered with the powder that's in it and it won't stick any longer. So get my scissors, and I will, you only really need, what was it, I figured out 7 1/4 inches, but I said 8 inches for this because then you had a little playroom for tying it like that, and it's within the boundaries. Now there we go. Take this, put that back where it belongs so that I've got room to work here, and I used a big one and I put it down here, and then I did two little ones. I did one here, and I did one here. Oh, very nice, sweetheart. Mama's doing a video. Very nice. Very nice. Saphira found a 4-leaf clover. So, there's the center part. I cut off like most of that, so it's just in the corner. It doesn't need to be the whole thing, and I'm going to do the same thing on the envelope. You don't need the full thing, and the envelope's not going to get colored. You can color it if you want to. I'm choosing not to color it because it's just extra time on the video, and yeah, just makes the video longer. There we go. There's a little bit of glue there. So now I'm just gonna show you how I did this. And I'm bringing this down below and over, so it's just in the corner. See, just like that, and that is going to do it. Hang my scissors up out of the way. Clean up a little bit so I can get this in here. What do you think of my card? Simple card. Very simple. You could pick and choose the designer series paper that you want to use. I use 2 different ones to show you that if you've already used this one up, you can use this one. Which one is this one? It is that one right there. And I thought that was perfect for the colors down here and the pretty colors up in it. And you're only using 1 3/4 inches. And this one, I think I showed it to you. It's that one. So they're basically the same, just a little bit more lighter colors there where this is more dark. But that's the only difference. But this is gorgeous paper. If you don't already have it, you need to get it, especially those sunflowers. Oh my goodness, I love those sunflowers. So, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you spending time with me. If you could like, share, comment, subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you'll be notified when I put up a new video. Thanks again. Bye now.